Okay. So, good evening, fellow Toastmasters members and guests from all around the world. Welcome, finally, as usual, to a new Mercury meeting. So, first, I would like to take the chance to welcome our new guests and our previous guests. And I would also like to take the time to welcome Kali as he joined us part of the members of Mercury's family. Welcome, Kali, and we are very happy to have you with us. So
Thank you.
today the team is different. I have one question for you. Would you choose winter or summer? Shopping or chilling? Burger or pizza? Being calm or being crazy? Yeah, you will know why I ask all of these questions once the meeting starts. I have to stop here because I wanna just share with you some of the rules that you need to know during the meeting. So first of all, don't be offensive. Don't talk in Arabic. The meeting will be recorded. So if by any chance anyone had any problem with having the meeting recorded, please don't hesitate to contact our own president, Malik Shaheen. I would like to see all your beautiful faces. Seriously, I really would like to see all your beautiful faces. But if by any chance anyone wanted to leave his chair, please don't forget to turn your camera off. And when you come back, make sure to turn your camera on. And finally, and most importantly, enjoy every single moment of this meeting. And now, to start our meeting, I would like to give the stage to our own president, Marijo Shaheen.
Hello, everyone. I hope you were able to see our little droid. And now, before I introduce the meeting officially, I would like to ask you, what do you think first when you see the little droid introducing the meeting? Some of you may be here for the first time, seeing it and thinking, what was that? Well, how is this related to a meeting? How is this related to introducing our club? Some others might think, this reminds me of R2D2 from Star Wars. This is if you've watched Star Wars before. Some of you nerds might be thinking of electronics and the sounds of electricity, or some might not think of anything at all. Our reactions to the droid depends on our perspective. Each and every one of us will think of a different impression depending on which movies we've seen in the past, depending on if we've visited Mercury before in the past, depending if it's our 10th time and we're getting bored of this robot every time in the beginning of our meeting. And it varies on so many levels. A couple of meetings ago, when I was thinking how to introduce our meetings in a different way, I was thinking of what animation to choose or what animation not to choose. And I had to take all of these perspectives into consideration. Of course, for now, for me, a geeky person who loves robots and Star Wars, and Mercury being a bit spacey, so it would fit the geeky era, I felt it was a perfect match. But I could not just rely on my perspective. There could be some eyeshadow covering my eyes and covering my perspective. So of course I had to take every exec committee's members' opinion in it. And today after the meeting, I will give you also the floor for feedback. If you like this animation, you would like something else, and take your feedback as a whole of the meeting. Why? Because each one of us has a different perspective. And once you join a Toastmasters club, you also get to know more perspectives as you hear more speeches, hear the different table topics, answers, and how every person answers a question depending on their own perspective. And this is what our meeting will be about today, the perspectives. I was muted by mistake. Yasmina, are you trying to shut me up so that you I know what Yasmina is doing. She wants to talk about perspective because she is our Toastmaster of the evening today. So I will now be transitioning to telling you a bit about our area. We are Mercury Toastmasters. We are one out of thousands of clubs around the world doing the same thing, giving an opportunity for growth for our members, a supportive community filled with positivity where we respect each and every kind of perspective. We are part of 5 clubs in Lebanon. We are Mercury as well as Loudspeakers, Speakers and Leaders, Protoast, and Dod, our Arabic club. And we are part of Area 1, which is Lebanon, Division A, District 105. This is it for me. And now I will give the floor to Yasmina so that she can lead our meeting and tell us more about this eyeshadow. Back to you, Yasmina.
Good evening again, fellow Toastmasters, members, and guests. Eyeshadow? No, that's not the theme of today, not eyeshadow, the makeup that most of us think it is about. Some facts can have different meanings when seen from different perspectives. So, for example, I would find this hoodie really, really, really nice and comfortable, but for others, they might find it so puffy and not nice. But we should all respect our own opinions, each other's opinions. So, the perspective each person adopts influences what is considered central or peripheral. So, in this meaning of obvious or obscure, and even present or absent. So, once you have adopted a perspective, it is difficult to suspend or change it. As long as I'm wearing this hoodie, I will always wear it. I won't change this perspective. I won't change my perspective about loving the hoodie and keeping on wearing or bringing the same thing. We don't know. It is even harder to take another's perspective that is different from ours. Of course, this meeting will not be held only by me. I have a team that will be helping me out throughout this meeting. Just a side note, tonight's meeting will be a bit different from the usual meetings as we won't have the prepared speeches part, and we'll start directly with a topic session, which is the most exciting session that we all wait for. First, we have our grammarian, Digit. Please let us know the word of the day that you have chose. Digit, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Madam Toastmaster. So, I remember whenever we used to speak any of the sentences, the most important thing that used to come in front of us for just checking out if we are right or wrong was the context. If I use some word in one context, it might mean one thing. If I use it, the same word in another context, it might mean another thing. So, likewise, today I am going to help you out in the English usage of throughout the meeting. So, help me introduce you to the word of the day. The word of the day is sagacious. Its meaning is having or showing keen mental discernment and good judgment. As an example, our contest judge is sagacious in selecting the best speaker. Apart from this, I will note down the good usages as well as the usages which can be improved. So now why I'm tracking down these usages. So the usages that are good, they uplift us, and the usages that can be made better, they give us the scope for further improvement of our English usage. Since the language of the club is English, I request that if you are using any other language other than English language, please translate it into English language right away for the convenience of other people also. and I will come back with my report in the evaluation section. Thank you. And over to Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Digant. And don't forget to use the word of the day, sagacious, I think. Yes. And now I would like to ask Roland to state the timing rules for the tabletop topic session. Roland?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. It was Halloween night of 2016. I was getting ready to go to the party disguised as a girl. I had my outfit on. And thought that everything was ready. But there was that little detail of makeup. I had no idea what you ladies go through every day when facing makeup, especially eyeshadows. Sticking a pencil just ليش معلقة الصورة sticking a pencil brush just 2 millimeters away from my eye was so terrifying. I completely underestimated how long it would take to put on makeup. After 1 full hour, I finally had finished the makeup of one eye only. As I was getting ready, I was running out of time and late to the party. I felt so bad and really wanted to cry, but I could not, so I don't mess up the 2 hours makeup. I really wish that I had a timer friend, let's say, to help me, exactly as you do have a timer during tonight's session. For just a second. Okay, for guests, I'll be showing the green Cleopatra at 30 seconds, the yellow Cleopatra at 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the red Cleopatra at 2 minutes. Now, for members, I'll be showing the green Cleopatra at 1 minute, the yellow Cleopatra at 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the red Cleopatra at 2 minutes. All of you will have a grace period of 30 seconds, during which you have to wrap up your speech after I show the green Cleopatra. Finally, I would like to remind all of you to pin the timer before starting your speech. Best of luck to all of you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
What a creative intro, Roland. I really liked it. So we'll keep on time always. Now, before starting with the table topic session, we will have a 2 minutes exercise. I need 2 volunteers just to have a small intro about the theme. I will be sharing the screen for the picture. You need to give me your opinion about who would like to volunteer. Anyone?
If no one, I can volunteer.
Kamal and Abdurrahman are raising their
okay.
hands. I'm pretty sure you can unmute.
You can all unmute, guys.
Oh, yes, I can unmute. Because I'm TTE today, so this will not count.
Freedom.
Whoever, it's a small exercise like before starting with the table topic session.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
I'm in.
I'm in.
And who else?
Abed and Kamal.
Yes.
Okay. So I will be sharing a picture with you, and you need to tell me what is the first thing you see. Okay. This one. 1 minute. Oh no, not the first thing you see. What is your description to this image? One by one, يعني.
Can we start?
Yes.
So we are chained to our cell phones. We are a product of our cell phone. We are slaves to art. We're slaves to technology. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
And Abid.
Yes, while we are actually chained to our cell phones, we have the freedom of removing these chains by simply just letting go. Because as you can see, nothing else is holding our hand in place. While we are, yes, chained by technology, we also have the answer in our hand to let go of it or to use it in a way to unlock the chains.
Yeah. Do you know what did I thought behind this picture? And my explanation to this picture was, I'll stop sharing. My explanation to this picture was that time goes fast, so we are sometimes connected to time, and we need to take time into consideration. So this was my explanation to the image. So this shows how each one of us has different perspective towards something that we see, and each one of us has like a different definition of something. Now to start with our first session, table topic session, our session for today, table topic session. For tonight, we have Abid, who will be leading the table topic session. I'm so excited for this session. So I will be giving the stage to Abid to start with this session. Abid, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Yasmina. Just give me a second to adjust my camera. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another table topics session. So as the great TME for this evening introduced our topic for tonight, which is a matter of perspective, let me first start by asking you this one simple question. This number behind me right here, what is it? Is it a 6 or is it a 9? And for some reason, my camera is frozen again. Yeah, it looks like a 0. Yeah, just a sec. Okay, is it a 6 or is it a 9?
It's both.
Okay, so you see, the thing about here is it's a matter of perspective. One person could be standing at the top side and one could be standing at the bottom. And they would both debate whether this is a 6 or a 9. My personal solution, I'll be sure to give it to you at the end of tonight's table topics. But for tonight, let's just dig right into tonight's table topics. Okay. Go. And as a reminder, any of you who want to participate in tonight's table topic, be sure to give me a private message. And as always, don't forget to pin the timer. Yes, I know my face is frozen. Just a second. My camera acts up at the worst of times. Okay. Let's then start first with Ali Habbal. Ali, are you ready?
Yeah, for what?
For your question, are you ready?
Oh yeah, for sure. Hit me up.
Okay then. Okay. Now, I'll actually give you a nice question that goes into the lands of nostalgia. Here's your question. Now, we all remember Tom and Jerry, the famous cat and mouse on TV. See, the thing here about Tom and Jerry is it caused kind of a civil war between people. Some sided with Tom, some sided with Jerry. Some saw Jerry as a parasite, while others saw Tom as the cat that's trying to protect its house. What's your take on this?
I would honestly like to be on Tom's side because Jerry is always one of the he starts the fights and tries to steal the food and gets Tom in trouble over and over, like getting him in trouble with the dog, I guess. And I think Tom is a nice cat, honestly, and I like cat. I'm a cat person. I'm on Tom's side.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Personally, I'd also would have gone with Tom because a lot of people were with Jerry. I just wanted to be against the flow. Okay, next participant. We have Kelly. Kelly, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let's start. Just a second. Okay, then, Kelly. Here's your question. Your lunch keeps missing every day from work. You are pretty sure, you are pretty sure, and you know who's the person taking it. Your friend Dwight tells you to confront them. Your buddy Michael tells you to report it to your supervisor, although he is your supervisor, so he throws it on HR. And your pal Jim tells you to get back at them with a friendly prank. What would your opinion be on this? What would you do?
Everyone deserves to eat lunch. Everyone deserves to eat a delicious lunch. And getting your lunch robbed is just not okay. However, the only way to solve this problem is through peaceful dialogue. So many people think that playing a joke or getting back at someone or doing the same thing to someone else is the way to go. But the only way to solve this problem and the problems of the office in general are to engage in peaceful dialogue with your supervisor, with your colleagues, and with the person that you know is doing it. And hopefully by this, we can change the office and our world. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Kelly. I see you're a man of culture as well, knowing what the office is. Thank you very much. Okay, next. I would like to call Tamara to ask her a certain question that I'm pretty sure she might enjoy. Tamara, are you with us?
I'm more than ready. Let's see.
Okay, then, Tamara. I love that attitude. Here we go. Okay, then. Here we see the rock in pink. So the thing is, a lot of talk has been going on in society that pink is mainly a feminine color and it shouldn't be worn by males. What's your take on this?
Okay, for some reason, I wasn't able to unmute. But my question is, since when colors are gendered? Since when pink is only for girls and blue is only for boys? Did you know that actually, like 1,000 years ago, it was the total opposite? Pink was a color associated with men. And every single man in society used to flaunt their different hues of pink, just like the pink moon last night, for example. It's true that it wasn't exactly pink, but oh well, the pink wildflower that blooms in April decided otherwise. Colors should never be gendered. For example, you can't say that pink is only for women and the men shouldn't be allowed to even dress in this color. No. Why stick to social constructs where they're just rules set by random people just to feel better about themselves and to disregard what others like and dislike? You should never go by the rules. You should always stand out and do whatever makes you feel comfortable. And on that point, I would like to go back to you, Mr. TM Abdulrahman.
Thank you, Tamara. Thank you for that great answer. And yes, I do believe that most colors shouldn't be genderized. I have a salmon t-shirt that I absolutely love. Okay, now we have Ankita. Am I saying that right, or did I just murder that name?
Hello, am I audible?
Okay, Ankita, are you ready for your question?
Yes. Am I audible? Can you please confirm this?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, Ankita, here's your question. So some people see that 2020 was the worst year for humanity since we were all imprisoned in our homes, while others see this as a blessing. Some people got to spend these troubled times with their loved ones. What was your perspective on the quarantine?
Okay. First of all, thank you for giving me such a wonderful topic. See, like every coin has two sides. Likewise, if we see the not so good side of this pandemic, is that many people have lost their dear and near ones, and the situation as of now, we can see the second wave has now started. Resources, we are falling short of resources. Yes, people are losing their jobs. No doubt, there are way more things are worsening, but at the same time, if we see on the other side, okay, like many marriages have been saved, family members are getting together, people are getting more time to connect. I am getting time to connect to the world through the Zoom meetings. I happen to come here in your meeting, Mercury Toastmasters meeting. It's all the product of circumstances. If deep down, if you sit and think about it, if there are certain merits, there are demerits as well. So it's up to you how you are looking to it, how you are taking it. So it's all about perception. As the Toastmaster of the day, sorry, the Toastmaster evening said, it's how you take up, how whether you take it as an opportunity or whether you want to see the bad side of it and keep on weeping and weeping, weeping, or it's better to come up. It's up to you again. That's all. The storyline is it's up to you how you are trying to take it. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ankita. Although to me, it was actually very favorable since my workstation is literally 6 feet away from my bed. Okay, then. Who wants to go next? Okay, I can see a lot of people, a lot of willing test subjects. I mean, a lot of willing volunteers. Let's see. Let's go with Kareem. Kareem, are you ready for your question? Hello, hello.
I am more than ready. My middle name is ready.
Okay, then, Mr. Kareem Reddy Kahale, here we go.
Sounds good to me.
Roger that. Okay, so in George Orwell's 1984, people's everyday lives are constantly being monitored. Do you believe that a certain amount of privacy is a good trade-off for security? So again, I repeat, do you believe that a certain amount of privacy is a good trade-off for security?
In whatever choices you really make in life, there will always be trade-offs. Whether you go for the expensive car or the cheap car, whether you choose the good-looking wife or the smart wife, whether you head towards a privacy-centered globe or you go strict on monitoring and recording and invading this very privacy. And I think the topic of privacy in this year, in this decade, in this century, is a very critical one. because you never really know when too much is really too much. But I think middle ground would be best. I think we should be preserving this privacy. I think we all do deserve that, despite the fact that almost every single thing you do these days is getting tracked online. That phone call, that WhatsApp message, maybe even that coffee meetup with your friend. I hope that we could achieve maybe just a small amount of privacy, because that is a right, and that is a right that all of us should be asking for. In a world where every action, every word you utter is being monitored. That is a wish, but we can make it true. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Kareem. Thank you. You are right. Unfortunately, today, these days, we have less privacy and in some cases, even less security. Thank you very much, Kareem. Okay, who's next? Sarah, would you like to go? Sarah, okay, would you like to go? All right. Are you ready for your question?
Yes.
Okay, then, here we go. Sarah, Batman has a contingency plan which incapacitates every member on the Justice League should they act suspiciously. Would you keep your team members in check, or would you give them non-authoritarian trust? Would you keep your team members in check, or would you trust the human ethics and believe that they will perform their job adequately?
Hmm. Yeah, so it has been a year and a half working remotely, and the world is all doing the same. And starting from that, I believe that you have always to trust the team and the person and the people you are working with. So it starts with the nature and the way every person behaves. You should trust them, and that they are capable and they are responsible. So this is mandatory, and it has its it has its priority. But also you have always to check with them, so you keep them motivated, you keep them feeling that they are part of the team. So you should do both, but I think that trusting the team members always comes the first. Thank you. Back to you, Abdurrahman.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. I would love to work for your company, although I wouldn't trust the person sitting in the cubicle next to me. He could be sitting on $50,000 of the company. Okay, who wants to go next? MJ. Okay, it's been a really long time since we had you in Table Topics. Okay. Let me find a really nice question for you. Okay, MJ. Your question is, when Thanos acquired the Infinity Stones, he snapped away half the universe. Do you agree with what he did? Or what would you do had you had the gauntlet yourself? So Thanos wiped out half the universe. Had you had the gauntlet, would you do the same, or would you do something else?
This is a good question for Khaled. Okay. I have the power. What do I do with that power? That's too much power for someone who can't decide between chicken barbecue or avocado or whatever. No, 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 no. You can't give me that kind of power, Abed. That's unfair for the world. On one side, I think that overpopulation is a very serious issue on Earth. On the other side, we are emotional beings. I can't just wipe out half of my family, half of my friends. That's unfair. And who decides who gets wiped out, and who stays? I can't decide that. Who am I to play the gods and play on everyone's feelings? So what will I do? I will just dig a huge hole, put the gauntlet in a box with a message to future generations in case I'm not sure what happens next. I will try and mark it on a map somewhere and encode it very well and create a very smart AI machine to send this code to the person that is worthy to make this decision 100 years from now, in case the world just goes in a whole different direction, because I cannot make this choice, and I don't think that anyone should be making such a choice. If it were to me, I wouldn't be using it. I would just burn it, but I know that this gauntlet is not, it's not flammable, so I will just hide it away and let artificial intelligence decide for me. Back to you, Abed.
Thank you very much, MJ. Although if I were to make a small opinion, you should make your AI recognize the people who do not fall into a conundrum when deciding between pizza or hamburgers. Thank you very much, MJ. Okay, now that would be all. Had I not had an extra 3 questions bonus rounds. Okay, so for our bonus round, let's go with Kamal. Kamal, are you ready?
I'm the evaluator for the table topics. Am I allowed to go? What?
You can
I
go.
saw-
It's okay. It's okay.
I see thumbs up.
All right.
Okay, Kamal, are you ready for the question? Here we go. Kamal, your question is, over the summer, you made a friend who moved into your town. You have the same interests, like the same music and movies, and you have had a great deal of fun. However, your new friend has an inappropriate sense of humor and can sometimes be very loud. School starts, and you are embarrassed by the way your friend acts. Do you remain friends, or do you drop the relationship? So your friend has an inappropriate sense of humor and is very loud. Do you remain friends, or do you drop the relationship? Kamal, you're muted.
Who among us can live his life, his or her life alone, stranded in an island, not able to talk to the people around him or her? We have to accept the fact that we live in a society, and society demands that we have to have friends. We have to choose with what's available. I'm not a perfect human, and neither are you, and neither are 99.9% of all the people in the world. If I were to find a friend, a true friend, I would hold on to him despite his or her negativities, their annoying behavior. If the friend, call him Mike, happens to be a loyal person, I would definitely hold on to him, despite his annoying personality. If he makes fun of me, I would take him after school and talk to him, school, we're assuming school days, and speak to him, say, look, that's not cool what you just did, and hope that they become better people. He becomes a better person. And being Kamal, I'm a very loyal guy. I know myself. I don't just ditch people the minute they make mistakes. I give second chance, a third chance. The only time I would ditch someone is when I feel betrayed. As long as Mike does not betray me, he will always be my friend. And the same way that he has to improve, I'm sure he will have comments about me, which I need to improve as well. Back to you.
Thank you, Kamal. And I can confidently say that Mike is a lucky person to have a friend like you, as we are lucky to have you with us. Okay, we have now 2 questions remaining. Who would like to participate? Okay, Digant. Okay, then here we go.
Yes.
Digant, your question.
Mm-hmm.
Just a second. Okay, your friend at the workplace made a horrible mistake. However, you were able to see through this mistake and see it as an opportunity for you and your friend to go further in life. Yet, however, you'd end up hurting some of your friends back at this company. What would you think is the most righteous thing to do? So your friend made a mistake at the company. However, you and your friend could benefit from that mistake, but you end up hurting others. What would you do?
I think that's a nice question in front of me. In case if I face such situation, and I faced such situation earlier in my office life, if if correcting that mistake makes my friend realize that that was a mistake and that was not to be repeated, it's okay. We all do mistakes. To err is human. And the same thing happened when I was teaching my junior colleague about the Excel sheet. She was not much proficient, and there she prepared a file, and I must say that she created a mess out of that file in a proper way. And what is most important is that she forwarded it to my superiors, saying that Digant has told me. Now I rectified that mistake, but my seniors were after my life then. At that moment, I realized that my junior colleague has realized her mistake and she has decided to correct that mistake in future and ensure that it will not happen. But that doesn't mean that I or anyone else should be just crucifying her for that small mistake. Everyone does a mistake. And there I took a very, very strong stand that it's okay. I told her, and there was some miscommunication. That's why it happened. My boss yelled at me like anything, but still, I said that it's okay. There was some miscommunication. I understand it is my fault, and it's okay, and it's all fine. And I ensured that just she is just okay with that. That she just knows that she doesn't have to repeat this mistake again. Because I realized that she is just a new joinee in the company, and if she listens to such things, man, that will really freak her out, man. That will really make her leave the company also. So I took a tough stand, and I will go with my one friend only. Thank you.
Thank you, Digant. Thank you for this wonderful answer. So, as in, we should accept mistakes as being part of us being human. Thank you very much, Digant. Okay, my last question. Who wants to go?
Maybe I can.
Okay, Wahidullah. Hello, Wahidullah. Okay, are you ready for your question?
I can never say no.
That's the attitude we're looking for. Okay. So, Pepe Le Pew was a character in Looney Tunes. However, he was recently cut out from the latest movie, which was called Space Jam, because his romantic techniques were seen a bit too abrasive. Do you think that he was basically being used as a comic relief, or was he really offending certain amount of people?
I have never watched that cartoon, so I do not have the idea what to say. So could you just make it easy for me in some way?
Okay, I can change the question.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, just give me a second. Okay, here's a good question. So we know there are these things called ink blot tests created by a man named Rorschach. It all depended on perspective and the analysis of the human psyche. So Wahidullah, what do you see in this picture?
Okay. If I have to answer in one single sentence, what do I see in this picture? I would say that I can see two lungs on two sides. And you perfectly mentioned that we see things in such pictures that we think of. Recently, we have been in a situation for Corona for last 1 year, more than 1 year. So all we think about is how do we get rid of this, and when will that time come when we shall be able to roam around the world without having our mask on? It seems like one day our children, or maybe the next generation, will start thinking that wearing mask is important, not just important, but also obligatory, because the mouth is our private part. The situation is rolling towards that direction. So we are constantly thinking about this situation. The situation around the world has worsened in many parts of the world, especially in India. I watched on news that so many people are dying. There is crisis of oxygen. And literally, this is the case. This could be the case in any country unless they're careful. So it is extremely important to train our psychological situation. And in this picture, one of the things that I can relate is that in this picture, you see what we think of that represents, that reflects our thinking process. And that also trains that we see, that also gives us the lesson that we can train our mind so that we can do or we can act accordingly. Right now, we are in extreme need to understand how we should stay safe, how we should be protected, and how cautious we should be in every circumstance. So in this case, I think that we need to train our mind so that it automatically comes in our behavior that we should stay safe. It's like the keyboard. Some people look at the keyboard and they type. Some people do not have to look at the keyboard when they type. It all a mind game. You train your mind and you can do what you want. That's about it. That's the lesson that we get from this picture. Over to you.
Thank you, Wahidullah, for this great answer. So basically, what you see here is the lungs, and they reminded you of these days, the trouble that we're having. Personally, I see two bears high-fiving. Again, but thank you very much, Wahidullah, for this great answer. And ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our table topics for this evening. However, I need to give you an answer for this picture that I showed you at the beginning. Was the number a 6 or was it a 9? My solution, my personal solution, would be to come to these people who are having a fight about the 6 and the 9 and tell them the answer is really simple. Simply go to the house of the person who drew this thing and bring him over here and ask him, Sir or ma'am, when you drew this, why didn't you simply put an underline under the number so we can know whether it's a 6 or a 9? Don't leave us in an open-ending, ambiguous kind of situation. With that, I conclude my table topics. Back to you, fellow TME Yasmina.
Thank you so much for this beautiful and amazing session. I really enjoyed it, and I hope everyone enjoyed it too. First, I wanted to ask Roland if everyone was on time.
Yeah, hello again, Yasmina. I'm sorry to say that Digant was not on time, but everyone else, all of them, all eligible. That's all
Thank you
from
so much. Thank you so much, Roland. I will be sending the link right away to vote for the best uh, table topics speaker. In that time, we're gonna have another exercise with another image. And we're gonna continue with the session with our evaluation section. So who would like to volunteer? I need just one person.
Okay, I would like to go.
Okay. I will be sharing with you now an image, and I would really like to take your own perspective about it. Tell me if you see the screen. Just 1 minute.
Yeah, sure.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, sure. It's quite visible.
Great. Okay. You have this. What do you see? What does this picture describes to you?
I mean, there's this, right now, what I can see is there's a spectacles, a pair of spectacles, and behind them, there are a few coins. I don't know whether they're coins or something. I believe it's coin. Mm,
What do you think the man has? What is the message behind this picture?
I'm honestly speaking, I'm clueless. I mean, the man is behind the spectacles. Uh,
Whatever pops in your
I'm clu-
mind.
uh, had the man been before? I mean, from this, from where I'm. Okay, got it. I am seeing it from my side. He's seeing from it from the other side. He could see the coins very clearly. I can see it a blur image of it. Uh, what more should I say? Uh, I mean, he could also see the same thing, I suppose. I
Yeah,
mean, that's all. I'm clueless, honestly speaking.
yeah.
Over to you.
What would I think? Honestly, I would think that the man is looking to loves money more than he loves to see anything else. This is my own definition to the
Okay. Yes, that's again one other perspective.
Yeah. So I wanted to conclude with my with the theme of the session to say that when Abid shared the screen about the last table topics question about the last image of how both had different perspectives, how both had different definition of the image, and how everyone defined it differently. So this shows how everyone, each one of us differently think about things differently, and this is how we have fewer strong disagreements and more constructive responses to continuous issues. So at the minimum, we will be more careful in what we say or do in a difficult situation to avoid escalating the negative. So sometimes people, when they give their opinion, they seem like offensive, like, no, this is not right, you shouldn't think that way, but we should think about it in another way, that having different perspective isn't bad. Actually, it is good. This is where we learn from each other, and we try to communicate in a different way and to learn new things. From now, I would like to start with our last session for the day, for tonight, the evaluation part. So our general evaluation will be reading it. I would like to give the stage to our own general evaluator, Karim Kahali.
Thank you, Madam Toastmasters, and welcome my fellow Toastmasters and guests to our final destination of the evening, the general evaluation. Now, evaluation, it's probably my favorite part of any meeting because it really gives us all a chance to grow, to elevate ourselves, to push to the extra mile and shine. But before getting started, I would like to call our timer on stage to state the timing rules for the Table Topics Evaluator, the grammarian report, and my personal evaluation of the meeting. Timer Roland, the stage is yours.
Yeah, hello again, Kareem. I'll be showing the green Cleopatra at 4 minutes, the yellow Cleopatra at 5 minutes, and the red Cleopatra at 6 minutes. I think that's all from me. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Roland. And now it's time for our excellent Table Topics Evaluator. Let us call Kamal on stage. Kamal, the stage is yours.
Yes, I'm just, okay. Hello, everyone. I would like to first applaud all of the participants, including myself, for giving good answers to the questions, which themselves, in my opinion, were very interesting. Starting with Mr. Ali, the Tom and Jerry question. I liked your answer. You gave a very direct reply. You knew what the answer was. However, I would suggest that you take some time to think about an answer. Remember, we are giving a speech here, and you gave the answer and then you ran out of ideas. So this is why I think you came up a little bit short with the time even. Kelly, as usual, you are very humane in your answers. You gave a very nice story. You collected your thoughts slowly. You always encourage the peaceful dialogue, and somehow I find your answers to be very poetic. What I would encourage you to do more is to elaborate more on your good ideas. And remember, we are here to create some suspense. And I think you have shown some more passion than you have in your previous speeches. So kudos to you on that. Tamara, the color pink, is it feminine or not? And you started with a very sagacious answer by giving us a question. You replied, since when is pink considered to be a female color? And then you elaborated more on the examples of history about why this should not be the case. I don't know if it's true or not. I'll do the fact checking later. And I would say that although you did answer the question, you kind of did not make a clear closing statement. So there wasn't a real definitive hard answer in the end. And one more thing, where is the humor that we're used to in your speeches? We are used to laughing during your answers. I felt that was lacking tonight. However, overall great answer and very smart reply. Ankita, is 2020 the worst year? You were very logical in your answer. You built up your speech beautifully, coming with a very nice conclusion. You started to say what people think in the beginning and why this might not be the case. However, whenever you come up with an answer that says that is all, that to me sounds like a little bit abrupt. So you might want to work a little bit more on the conclusion. However, great answer. Karim Kahale, the 1984 privacy versus security question, always coming up. I like that you took your time to answer. Your introduction was very clear and you gave a very logical reply. Yet I felt that although you started with giving some examples, you gave a little too many examples. So, okay, we got your point at the beginning. So let's move on. That's how I was feeling. And the examples were a bit too general. What I would suggest is try to maybe create a personal story and come with a conclusion. Maybe that's a strategy that I would suggest. And at the very end, your answer was very smart. You navigated very sagaciously again, yet your answer was not black and white, it fell in the gray area. This is how I felt. Yet great reply, I have to say. Mary Jo, the Thanos question. Sorry, Sarah Murtada first, the Batman question. You did answer the question, Sarah, yet you needed to do some eye contact on the screen. And I felt that you were thinking during the reply, so you were improvising along the way. I would suggest take your time and think of a structured answer before replying. Now to the Thanos question with Mary Jo. Mary Jo, as usual, she's not going to start in the regular way. She started with a bang. I have the power. That's a great way to start. Very sagacious answer. Digant, you should really love me by now. And but you didn't want to answer the question, I felt. You just wanted to pass the buck. So you created a new story to pass the buck onto generations hundreds of years from now. Very smart, yet I'm so surprised you didn't want to answer the question. Just give us an answer. Give us your honest opinion. But it was clever. You didn't want to answer. You found your way around it, and you threw the buck to the generations to come later on, which reminds me of a movie. I'll try to remember the name later on. Kamal, would you ditch a friend? Kamal, nice ideas, yet I think you needed to show some more excitement. You could have told a personal story and not just give us nice idea and good words. We want to hear nice stories from you to make your speech more impactful. Now moving on to Digant. What a mistake. What a mistake your speech theme was about. You made a good story about how you felt betrayed, about how you felt about your colleague, how she messed up, and then you messed up, and then your bosses messed up. So it was a bit of a long story, and too many parts of the story I felt you were just repeating. It was a nice story, but I think you could have compressed it a little bit to make it more, and you would have fallen in time in that case. And then last of all, Wahidullah, the ink blot test. I would have prepared the Pepe Le Pew if you had known that. It was a really nice question. The ink blot test, good start. And you started with, this is what I see. And this is a great way to start. Just shows that you're really confident about your answer. Did you notice that overall the speech was good. I've really nothing but applause for you. Did you notice that you saw lungs and then you correlated your answer to corona? Just makes you think. Guys, overall, the questions were really nice and the answers were amazing. I would say that you have to all include personal stories to make your speeches a bit more engaging. That's my only tip. But everything else was super wonderful. Back to you, Karim, General Evaluator Karim.
Thank you very much, Kamal. A very elaborate evaluation for every single table topic speaker tonight. Before moving on with my personal evaluation, we still have one more to go, and it is our grammarian report, led by our dear grammarian, Digant Patel. Digant, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Mr. General Evaluator. Now, as told by our Toastmaster Kamal Kasab, I'm really falling in love with him because he used maximum number of times the word of the day. Out of total word of the day being used by people 5 times, he has used 3 times the word of the day. And most importantly, here are certain good usages that I found by Toastmaster Abdul Rahman, lands of nostalgia. That was really a good usage. By me, the word crucifying. By Toastmaster Wahidullah, situation is rolling. And someone used the phrase psychological situation, to adjust our psychological situation. So I think better usage could be the perception, that we can adjust not our psychological situation, but our perception. We can adjust our perception. All in all, it was really a nice meeting full of good usages of English. And here I end my report. Thank you. And over to general evaluator.
Thank you, Digant. Very detailed report as usual. Now is my part, my evaluation of the meeting and the role takers. So we'll be starting with our SAA, Yasmina. Yasmina, I think for someone that hasn't been around in Toastmasters for a very long time, you've proven yourself a true and valuable member of the community. I admire your energy, I admire your passion. As an SAA, you stated all of the rules very clearly, and most importantly, you've made the guests feel welcome. Our president, Mary Jo, same as always, full with energy and enthusiasm and passion. You always add this extra touch to the meeting, and it gets us all hooked, members and new guests. I like the inclusion of the story as of every meeting, and I like consistency with the robot theme. So keep it up. Now, our Toastmaster of the evening, Yasmina again. Yasmina, I thought you led a very solid meeting overall. You've included some more interactions to make us more engaged with your theme. Now, I thought you were a bit nervous. I would say always, in whatever moment, whatever stressful moment you've got in life, all you gotta do is just close your eyes, deep breath, and hold it. Then in a few seconds, release. Do that before any presentation, any job interview, any Toastmaster of the evening role, or any role really. And I'm sure that the results will be staggering. I thought the theme in general was creative, but it was a bit too hard to catch up with you at one point, I thought. Our grammarian Digant, I like how you highlighted every speaker's expressions closely at the end of the meeting with your grammarian report. I like the particular choice of the word of the day. It was unheard of, and I was very happy that it was commonly used to a certain extent during the meeting. I think you probably want to work on two minor things. Number one, which is the audio video sync issues, since they weren't always in sync, which was a bit distracting. And number two, I like the enthusiasm you had during the Gamera report, but at the introduction, I thought you were a bit low on energy, but I'm glad you changed up things at the end. Our table topics master, no one else, no one other than Abdurrahman. Very fun, energetic session. I love the mix of humor and the mix with the serious questions. You've shown really good listening skills, commenting at the end of every answer. Now, my only recommendation maybe will be to simplify the questions a bit more. I thought some questions were they did get a bit generic sometimes. Some questions were a bit too long or a bit more complex. That will make it a bit more challenging for the speaker, which might not always be a veteran of the community. So maybe you would want to simplify your questions a bit more and reduce the content. But you've led a great table topic session too. And finally, getting to our table topics evaluator, Mr. Kamal Kassab. Kamal, I think your evaluation skills, they're truly reaching a new high, and I am very impressed. You followed a great technique to list one good positive highlight and then move to a recommendation and what the impact of this recommendation will be. and most importantly, how to implement it. I think one minor aspect you could work on, maybe managing your time in a way where you would allocate approximately the same amount of period of time for every single speaker, since I thought you tended to elaborate much more on certain speakers, but not so much on others, just for consistency. Now, finally, we have our timer, Roland. Roland, I love the inclusion of the storyline. As always, you always add an extra touch to your role, no matter how simple it was. You were very punctual time-wise, and you explained your role. I thought maybe the intro was a bit too lengthy. Maybe you could just cut down a bit to manage time as a timer role, but overall, you also done a marvelous job. Now, I do have some minor comments about the entire meeting overall. I'm not sure if the agenda was sent in chat, but I think that's one major thing that we should be working on. Maybe I've missed it. It would be my mistake. And number two, I really liked how everyone seemed to have a good time. And this is what truly get new people and new guests to the meeting. And it's something special we have in Mercury. And before ending the evaluation session, I would like to ask you all, please, to write down feedback for me in return. And we also need to be voting for the best table topics speaker. Mary Jo, if you could please share the links. All right, sounds great, already done. Okay, then we'll be taking 2 minutes for writing feedback for the role takers and voting. Timer, could you please time 2 minutes? Looks like time is up. Thank you all for attending. Thank you all role takers. Thank you guests. Thank you members for making this meeting possible. And I'll have to give the stage back now to our dear Toastmaster of the evening, Yasmina. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Karim, for this very nice and detailed session. Before giving back the stage to our own President Major Shaheen, who is excited so we can see who won in the table topic session. Let me see some excitement before sharing the screen. I can see Kamal. Okay, I will be sharing the screen in a minute because we had some changes. You will be now very surprised with the results, actually. Okay. Okay, so this time we don't have only one winner. Who is excited? I will be sharing. Our first winner is Ankita Kumari. Congrats, Ankita Kumari. Our second winner is Ali Habbal. Congrats, Ali Habbal. And we still have one more actually. We don't have only two winners, we have three winners. We have three ties actually. And last but not least, Wahadallah Sheikh. Congratulations to three of you. All of who participated really deserve it, and we had so much fun listening to your answers.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I on? Thank you, Yasmina. The certificate says the best evaluator. I mean, I'm confused.
No, the best table topics speaker. Best table.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay,
Congratulations.
so thank you. Thank you for having me. Sorry I joined a bit late. Actually, I came to know about your club from Toastmaster Digan.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm from Insteel Toastmasters Club, India. Currently, I'm serving as the Vice President Education of that club. And since it's a pandemic here, and I'm eager to, I mean, I like connecting with people, with wider range of people and professionals. And like a butterfly, I'm flying here and there and learning from everyone. Like I learned from your club also today. I mean, there are few things that I would love to carry. I would take away with me, like the way the timer introduced his role. He didn't just mechanically read out his script like in various clubs. I've seen there's a script given and the speaker looks at the screen and he just reads out. There was, I mean, uh, there was an organic touch in his speech. And coming to the table topic session, oh my God, what should I say? I mean, it was really, really, really interesting. Really interesting. Coming to the table topic evaluation session, again, it was, can't say. I mean, it was a great session as a whole. I liked it. I'm looking forward to attend few more meetings of yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the feedback, Ankita. We hope to see you every session.
Sure, sure, sure.
And now, I would like to end it with a small note. So the goal behind this theme of what I have chosen is to just say that if each of us believes in different, thinks differently, as I have mentioned, acts differently. So no one in the world is like others. Each one of us is unique in his her own thoughts and ideas. Maybe each of one of us has his own creativity. So this is where respect and acceptance stands. This is where we try to respect each other's opinion, each other's perspectives, and accept and learn from each other every day. So here I would like to conclude my part. I hope you all enjoyed the meeting, and if you had any feedback to share with me or with any of the role takers, please do so in the feedback, or even after the meeting, we will be open for any discussion. The stage is yours, Majito Shaheen.
Thank you, Yasmina. What an amazing change of perspective today we had with your content as Toastmaster, and as with every question and every answer during the table topics session. It was an amazing meeting today. Congrats to both of you, and congrats, Abid, for your first table topics role. Really, we're proud of you here. So before we move on to feedback from all of you, let us take a group picture. Whoever is able to open their cameras, open your cameras so that we can take a picture together. Okay. Not sure, Karim, if he's able. Or Ali. Smile. That's so cute. Okay. Okay, done. Great. Now let's hear a bit about our meeting from our guests. Ankita, we already heard from you. I can. Do you have anything to add? Do you have anything that you would like to say about the meeting, or already spoke? But if there's anything, any question or anything at all, you can let us know. I will stop